There is a version of you that is still naive, still bleeding for people who would watch you drown, still extending your hand to those who sharpen knives behind their backs. You call it loyalty, you call it kindness, you call it being a good person. Machiavelli would call it fatal. You have been taught that saving people is noble, that sacrificing yourself is virtuous, that if you are strong, you should carry the weak. But no one told you what happens when the weak enjoy being carried. No one warned you that some people are not drowning, they are anchoring themselves to you on purpose. And if you don't learn this lesson now, you will spend your entire life building empires for people who secretly resent you. You are not exhausted because life is hard. You are exhausted because you are rescuing the wrong people. Look at your past. How many times have you stepped in to fix someone's chaos, paid their debt, cleaned their mess, listened to their endless crisis, defended them when they were wrong, given them opportunity after opportunity? And what happened? They did not rise. They did not transform. They did not become loyal soldiers in your kingdom. They became comfortable parasites. Machiavelli understood something brutal about human nature. He wrote for rulers, not martyrs. And rulers understand this. When you save someone who refuses to save themselves, you don't create gratitude. You create entitlement. And entitlement is the seed of betrayal. Listen carefully. There are 6 types of people you must never save, not because you are cruel, but because you are building power. And power cannot coexist with emotional charity. The first is the perpetual victim. You know this person. Their life is always collapsing. Their boss is unfair. Their partner is toxic. Their friends betrayed them. The system is against them. The timing was wrong. The world is cruel. Nothing is ever their fault. At first, you feel compassion. You think they just need guidance. They just need support. So you offer advice, you offer resources, you connections, you defend them, you step in. But watch closely. They don't want solutions. They want an audience. Because their identity is built on suffering. If they stop being a victim, they lose their excuse. And if they lose their excuse, they must confront their mediocrity. Machiavelli warned that men are ungrateful, fickle, liars, and deceivers. The victim uses sympathy as currency. They survive by extracting emotional labor from those stronger than them. And every time you rescue them, you validate their narrative. You become the next character in their tragedy. And one day when you cannot carry them anymore, they will call you heartless. They will say you changed. They will say you abandoned them. They will rewrite history so that you are the villain. Because victims must always have a villain. Do you understand the danger? When you align yourself with someone who refuses responsibility, you absorb their chaos. Their storms become your storms. Their enemies become your enemies. Their weakness infects your standards. The ruthless lesson is this: if someone refuses to own their life, you must refuse to carry it. You are not their savior. You are not their therapist. You are not their second chance. You are building something, and builders cannot afford to drag anchors. The second type is more subtle, the ungrateful opportunist. This one is harder to detect. They don't cry, they don't complain, they smile. They praise you, they tell you how much they appreciate you. But they only appear when you are rising, when you have resources, when you have leverage, when you have influence. Watch their timing. When you were struggling, they were distant. When you were invisible, they were silent. Now that you are ascending, they are present.
Machiavelli observed that men are loyal only as long as it serves their advantage. The opportunist studies you. They calculate your trajectory. They attach themselves not to you, but to your momentum. And the moment your power dips, they detach. No warning, no explanation, just absence. The mistake you make is confusing proximity with loyalty. Just because someone is near your success does not mean they care about your mission. They care about access. Access to your network, access to your energy, access to your credibility. They will celebrate you publicly, but privately they are evaluating your usefulness. And here is the brutal truth. If you save them when they fall, they will not remember, because to them, you are not a friend, you are a ladder, and ladders are stepped on. Machiavelli would tell you, never empower someone who sees you as a stepping stone. Power must be exchanged with those who understand debt, with those who understand loyalty, with those who understand consequence. If someone benefits from you without ever investing in you, cut the cord. No speeches, no dramatic exit, just distance. Because the longer you tolerate opportunists, the more you train them to believe you are exploitable. You are not a charity, you are not a rehabilitation center, you are a sovereign force, and sovereignty requires boundaries sharp enough to cut. Pause for a moment. Look at your circle. Who drains you but never builds themselves? Who appears only when you shine? Who disappears when you struggle? Be honest. Power begins with clarity. If you are still here, comment below, "I protect my power." Not for validation, for commitment. Because what comes next will challenge your softness, and softness is expensive. The third type is the jealous friend. This one hurts the most, because they were there in the beginning. They knew you before the discipline, before the ambition, before the transformation. They laughed with you, they struggled with you, they saw your insecurity, and now they see your growth, and it burns them. Jealousy is rarely loud, it is subtle. It hides behind jokes, behind sarcasm, behind "you've changed," behind "don't forget where you came from," behind "you're obsessed." Machiavelli understood that people resent those who rise above them. Your growth forces them to confront their stagnation, and instead of climbing, they try to pull. At first, you try to bring them with you. You share books, you share ideas, you invite them to train, to build, to elevate. But they resist, because your discipline exposes their excuses. And here is the dangerous part. If you save a jealous friend, they will sabotage you. Not always consciously, but inevitably. They will miss deadlines. They will leak your plans. They will downplay your wins. They will plant doubt when you need certainty. And when you confront them, they will say you're paranoid, you're overthinking, you're becoming arrogant. Listen carefully. Anyone who resents your evolution cannot be allowed near your empire. Machiavelli would remove them without hesitation, not with rage, not with drama, with cold precision. Because envy is a silent poison, and poison spreads. You cannot carry someone who secretly wants you smaller. You cannot save someone who is threatened by your power. You must outgrow them, even if it means walking alone, especially if it means walking alone.
We are only halfway through. The next three are even more dangerous, and one of them you may still be defending. The fourth type is the emotional manipulator. This one does not attack your ambition. They attack your conscience. They study your empathy. They learn your guilt. They weaponize your morality against you. Machiavelli wrote that men should either be treated generously or destroyed, because if you only offend them slightly, they will seek revenge. The manipulator understands this instinctively. They never push hard enough to be exposed. They push just enough to make you doubt yourself. They don't ask directly. They imply. They sigh. They withdraw affection. They change their tone. They make you feel that if you don't help them, you are cold. If you don't rescue them, you are selfish. If you prioritize your mission, you are cruel. And because you still want to see yourself as a good person, you fold. You adjust your schedule. You sacrifice your focus. You delay your plans. You carry their weight. And every time you do, they gain leverage. Not because they are stronger than you, but because you fear being misunderstood. The manipulator thrives on your internal conflict.
They know you are building something. They know you are becoming disciplined. They sense the shift, and it terrifies them. Because when you become sovereign, they lose control. So they remind you of your past promises. They bring up everything they have done for you. They frame their dependence as loyalty. And if you try to step back, they accuse you of betrayal. This is psychological warfare, and Machiavelli would recognize it immediately. He warned that people are quick to forget the death of their father, but never the loss of their inheritance. When you withdraw emotional subsidies from manipulators, they feel robbed. Robbed of access, robbed of influence, robbed of your availability, and they will escalate. Tears, anger, silence, ultimatums. But here is the ruthless truth. If someone requires your self-destruction to feel secure, they are not your ally, they are your captor, and captors do not deserve rescue. You must learn to tolerate being misunderstood. You must learn to endure their narrative about you, cold, changed, heartless. Let them speak. Power does not argue, it withdraws. The fifth type is more common than you think. The comfort addict. This person does not sabotage you. They sedate you. They're pleasant. They are easy. They love routine. They love familiarity. They love the way things have always been. They are not ambitious. They are not strategic. They are not dangerous. And that is precisely why they are dangerous. Machiavelli studied empires that collapsed not from invasion, but from decay, from luxury, from softness. The comfort addict invites you into that decay. Relax. Skip today. You work too much. Why are you always serious? They don't say it with malice. They say it with warmth. They genuinely want you to slow down because your intensity makes them uncomfortable.
Your focus disrupts their equilibrium. If you save the comfort addict from their stagnation, they will pull you into it. You will start negotiating with yourself. One missed workout becomes two. One delayed task becomes a habit. One late night becomes a lifestyle. And slowly, your edge dulls. The comfort addict does not hate you. They just love stability more than greatness. And if you stay too close, their gravity becomes yours. Machiavelli would say that a ruler must avoid neutrality in times of conflict, and understand this clearly. You are at war with mediocrity. You cannot align with those who have made peace with it. It does not mean you hate them. It means you outgrow them. You reduce exposure. You limit influence. You protect your standards. Because discipline is fragile in the beginning, and comfort is contagious. The sixth type is the most dangerous of all. The betrayer disguised as loyal. This one studies you the longest. They defend you publicly. They support you loudly. They call you brother. They call you family. They are there in meetings. They are there in strategy. They are there in private conversations. And they are collecting information. Machiavelli was clear. Men are driven by self-interest. Loyalty exists only while incentives align. The disguised betrayer does not reveal themselves when you are strong. They wait. They wait for tension. They wait for opportunity. They wait for leverage. And then they strike. They share secrets. They switch sides. They undermine decisions. They align with your rivals. And the worst part? You never saw it coming. Because you believed shared history meant shared destiny. It does not. Time does not guarantee loyalty. Shared struggle does not guarantee honor. Proximity does not guarantee allegiance. The mistake you make is overexposing your vision, oversharing your strategy, overtrusting your inner circle. Machiavelli would never allow full transparency, not because he was paranoid, but because he understood human nature. When you save someone who has already betrayed you once, you train them to betray you again. Forgiveness without consequence invites repetition,
and rulers who repeat that mistake lose kingdoms. This is where most men fail. They believe loyalty is built on emotion. It is not. It is built on alignment and consequence. You do not need to become suspicious of everyone, but you must become observant. Patterns do not lie. Excuses do. If someone has shown you disloyalty, distance is not cruelty, it is strategy. Now pause. Feel the weight of what we have uncovered. The victim, the opportunist, the jealous friend, the manipulator, the comfort addict, the disguised betrayer.
Look at your life. How many of them are still there? How many are you still trying to save? How much energy have you burned trying to resurrect people who prefer weakness? This is not about becoming cold for the sake of ego. This is about survival at higher levels. Because as you rise, the cost of mistakes increases. At the bottom, betrayal hurts. At the top, betrayal destroys. And you are not climbing just to fall because you refused to cut. The final transformation is the hardest, because now the question turns inward. Are you ready for the last truth? Now we turn the blade inward. Because after identifying the 6 types you must never save, there is one more person left. The one you keep rescuing every day. Your former self. This is the truth no one wants to confront. You say you are done saving victims, but you still entertain your own excuses. You say you reject manipulators, but you still negotiate with your own weakness. You say you cut off comfort addicts, but you still crawl back to comfort at night. Machiavelli understood that before a prince could rule a kingdom, he had to secure his own throne, and your mind is your kingdom. If you keep saving the older, softer, undisciplined version of you, none of this matters. You are the final archetype, the self-betrayer. The version of you that promises discipline in the morning and seeks relief by evening. The version that says, just this once. The version that rationalizes delay. The version that waits for perfect timing. Every time you rescue him, you delay your ascension. You cannot build power while preserving weakness. At some point, mercy becomes sabotage, and Machiavelli was not merciful when power was at stake. He wrote that there is no avoiding war. It can only be postponed to the advantage of others. You are at war with your lower nature. Postpone it, and weakness gains territory. Indulge it, and it fortifies. Negotiate with it, and it studies you. The final ruthless lesson is this: stop saving people who are committed to staying small, including yourself. Power demands separation. Separation from chaos, separation from envy, separation from manipulation, separation from decay, and separation from the old identity that once kept you comfortable. This is where most people retreat, because isolation feels harsh, because cutting people off feels cruel, because saying no feels unnatural. But understand something critical. You are not responsible for carrying grown adults through lives they refuse to control. You are responsible for your trajectory, your standards, your legacy. Machiavelli did not write for the herd, he wrote for the ruler. And rulers are not liked by everyone. They are respected, they are feared, they are understood only by a few. You have been conditioned to believe that being needed equals being valued. It does not. Often being needed simply means you are useful, and useful people are drained. Valuable people are protected. There is a difference. When you stop saving everyone, something strange happens. Silence. The chaos reduces. The emergencies decrease. The phone rings less. The guilt fades. And in that silence, you hear something unfamiliar. Clarity.
You begin to see who stands on their own. You begin to see who adapts without your intervention. You begin to see who disappears when access is removed. That information is priceless because it reveals alignment. And alignment is the only foundation strong enough to build an empire on. You will lose people. Let that settle in your chest. You will lose people. Some will leave dramatically. Some will fade quietly. Some will try to return when they sense your continued growth. Do not confuse nostalgia with loyalty. Do not confuse history with destiny. The path of power narrows. The air becomes thin. Fewer people can breathe there. That is not arrogance. That is mathematics. When you elevate your standards, your circle shrinks. Not because you hate others, but because most prefer comfort over climb. And here is the paradox. When you stop trying to save everyone, you become stronger. When you become stronger, you attract stronger people. People who do not need rescue. People who bring resources, discipline, perspective. People who sharpen you instead of dull you. That is when real alliances form, not from pity, not from guilt, from mutual ambition, from mutual respect, from mutual strength. This is the Machiavellian alliance, not emotional dependency, strategic partnership. But to reach that level, you must survive the loneliness in between, the transitional desert where the old circle is gone and the new circle has not yet formed. Most retreat here. They return to comfort. They apologize for changing. They reopen doors that should have stayed closed. Do not. Loneliness is a purification phase. It burns away dependency. It clarifies vision. It forces self-reliance. And self-reliance is the foundation of sovereignty. You wanted power? This is the price. You wanted freedom? This is the cost. The herd is warm. The herd is loud. The herd will always accept you back if you lower your standards. But the mountain is cold, and the mountain does not negotiate. Machiavelli was exiled, tortured, stripped of status, and in isolation he wrote truths that outlived kings. He did not beg to be understood. He observed, he calculated, he adapted, and he survived. Your exile may not be physical. It may be social. It may be emotional. It may be internal. But if you endure it, something changes. You stop reacting. You stop explaining. You stop rescuing. You start selecting. You start evaluating. You start commanding. Not others, yourself. And when you master that, everything shifts. Your time becomes guarded. Your energy becomes intentional. Your alliances become strategic. Your silence becomes powerful. People sense it. They feel that you are no longer easily accessed, no longer easily manipulated, no longer easily guilted. You are not cold, you are controlled. You are not cruel, you are calibrated. You are not heartless, you are disciplined. And discipline is terrifying to those who live emotionally. Look at your life now. Who remains if you remove your rescuing instinct? Who stands without your constant support? Who aligns without coercion? Those are your people. The rest were assignments, lessons.
Weights you were meant to drop. If you have made it this far, you already feel it. The shift, the detachment, the clarity. This is not about hating anyone. It is about understanding human nature, including your own. Never save those who are committed to drowning. Never empower those who resent your strength. Never rescue those who sabotage your rise. And never preserve the weaker version of yourself out of nostalgia. If you are ready to stop playing savior and start building sovereignty, comment below. I choose power over pity. Not for attention, for declaration. Because declarations change identity, and identity changes behavior. The world is getting softer, more distracted, more emotionally fragile. That is your advantage. While they seek validation, you seek leverage. While they seek comfort, you seek capacity. While they seek rescuers, you become unrescuable.
The old you was generous without boundaries, available without standards, loyal without evaluation. That version cannot survive where you are going. He must be retired. No ceremony, no apology, just distance. You are not here to be liked. You are here to become formidable. And formidable men do not carry dead weight. They ascend, alone if necessary. The old savior is gone. Now build the ruler.